Hi guys, so I made this card a little earlier. I bought a couple of background stamps from Technique Junkies, and I wanted to see how well I could emboss this. It is Everything Dandelion, $10.95 at Technique Junkies for a background panel. That it is just beautiful, and you can't beat that. So I'm gonna be using this. And then I'm going to come in here with the Flowering Bloom set from Stampin' Up! And I'm going to be using both of these flowers. And then I'm also going to use Queen Anne's lace. And I'm going to use just this sentiment here, Hello Friend. So let's get started. I'm going to bring in my Mini Misty. And we are going to use, where'd it go? What is this? This isn't it. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. We're going to use black cardstock. We're going to put down our embossing ink. Try to get it as good as coverage as you can. That should be good enough. Before I forget, we want to use our embossing buddy that prevents any static clinging and prevents any embossing powder getting where we don't want it to be. So now we're going to shut our door. We're going to give this a good press. That should be good enough. Yep, I can see it. Then just use a piece of scrap paper or printer paper. This part could get messy. I would advise turning off your ceiling fan if you have one. I'm not going to do so. I'll clean up the mess afterwards. And we're going to tilt it over. Give a good tap. That looks pretty good. I'm just going to clean up my mess here. This was Embossing Powder Vintage Pearl by Granger. And I'm just going to bring in my heat tool. It is advised to keep from warping that you warm this up for about 30 seconds. All right. And here is our panel. Turned out pretty good. Just going to take a cloth and go over it real lightly. Try to get that powder off that we put on. Perfect. And that part's done. Now we are going to bring in just this card panel here and my stamp set, the flowering blooms. Let me get this rose. I'm going to get this one out as well. Bring back in my Misty. pick that up. Then I'm going to be using Real Red from Stampin' Up. And we're going to give this a good press. Pretty. So now I am going to take this to my scan and cut that out. Be right back. All right, my little flower is cut out. Now, since I still have my mini Misty out, I am going to stamp this other flower. I'm going to put it right about there. I'm going to come back in with that Real Red again. And close our lid. Give a good press. How pretty is that? That is our inside portion. I'm going to set that aside. Pick up a little bit here. Now, I did an 8.5 by 5.5 card base. And we need to cut a panel for behind our top panel. So we're going to go (4/8) and 5 3/8. Now this has some edges that I don't want, so I'm going to take those off real quick. It should be about 1/8 of an inch. So 5 1/4, 5 3/8. Perfect. I like it. Now we're just going to tape it down. Yes, I like my tape. I want to make sure everything stays good and tight on there, especially when it has a little bit of a warp. right, there's that. Bring in our card base. Get that good and pressed down. Perfect. Next, to put down my little rose, coming in with some Barely Art glue. You don't want to oversaturate it. Put your pen back in your glue so that doesn't dry in its tip. Now we'll put a block on top of this just so it can have a little time to dry. Now for my other stamp set for the Hello Friend. This one right here. Put it on a small stamp block. Try to get it nice and even. There we go. I'm going to use some Raven detail ink from Brutus Monroe. Make sure you got it right side up. I don't like how that's stamped out, so I'm going to do it again. That's better. Now I have some dies. I don't remember who they're from, but I'm going to take this little die here. I'm going to cut out that sentiment. So I'm going to go back to my Vagabond. I'll be right back. All right. I have that die cut out. There we go. So I have some black soot, distressed oxide. I'm just going to come in here and just ink up those edges a little bit. Just a little bit. Try to give it the hint of dimension. There we go. I like these little finger daubers. They're nice. And now with this, I want to pop it up. So these are Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. I messed up and got the minis, so these things are really teeny. But it works on this, that's fine. I'll probably find myself using more of it. That's okay, I always have my Arteza foam tape. I'm sorry, I think it's pronounced Arteza. Take our backing off. This has had plenty of time to adhere. And I don't like how the Scan and Cut doesn't get between these petals down here. So I'm going to put my little sentiment right there. And now we come in with our inside panel. Very, very pretty. And then what I like to do, to give it a little pop, I don't know if you can tell the difference in this one. I put Wink Estella on the shaded part. It makes it pop a little bit. I don't know if you can tell the difference there. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm just coming in here and I'm just going to highlight those veins just a little bit. Go in where they put the shadow pieces anyways. And it just helps that color just pop a little bit. I don't know that you out in YouTube land can see this, but the person receiving the card will see it. And it just gives it that extra little piece of wow. All right, I'm going to do the same thing on the inside. I'm just going to follow the petal. Looks like somebody just went out and spilled glitter on it, or it's kissed by the morning dew. Just follow the petals. Very pretty. The only other thing that I want to do is put some embellishments on it. I'll take these tiny little black dots and voila, we are done. Simple card, very pretty. And I'll just leave this as a note card. I won't put a sentiment inside. It'll be able to just write a note. There you have it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I would greatly appreciate it. If you liked this video and my card, please give me those thumbs up. Otherwise, I am going to sign off for the night. I am headed to a good friend's house to do some playing of cards and probably some more Christmas cards. But anyways, I'm gonna go. Everybody remember to be kind, and we'll see you tomorrow.